I think, yes. You're welcome. Hello, 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 everybody. Hadassah here, metaphysician, emotional wellness coach, and wellness entrepreneur, and proud founding member of Extreme FX Global Academy, where Bitcoin and Forex collide, because that's where the money was at. So you'll see, let's see, I'm looking for something really quick. A lot more videos coming out that I'm going to share with you all about our academy and our common unity. So be on the lookout for those in the upcoming weeks. This I'm excited because in just a day or two, let's see, today is Tuesday, so you figure Wednesday, Thursday, on Friday, um, myself and my son Ryan, who is a young gun in our Extreme FX Global Academy Common Unity, we'll be going out to Florida for the what is the event? The yacht party. it is the yacht party that we're having, and we'll be celebrating their birthdays. So we'll be celebrating two of the co-founders' birthday, Reagan and Megan Lynch. Their birthday is May 14th, so we'll be celebrating their birthday. And then I'm also bringing Ryan along because his birthday is tomorrow. Actually, he'll be 17 years old. He's an Extreme FX Young Guns. He's on the AP honor roll in our academy. And so I'm like, that's great. It's great. It's like, first of all, he wasn't even on the AP honor roll when I bought the tickets. But I knew that I wanted him to come out and have this experience as a 16, almost 17-year-old young male. And I was thinking like, oh, that'll be great for him to come out and experience that and, get on the plane and go to Florida, have just that whole experience I wanted him to have along with me. And I said, and it'd be great for his birthday, like birthday present. And so then for him to make the AP honor roll in the academy, that just made it all the better. So I'm excited, very, very, very excited about that. So I'll be streaming live, kind of like on the way, things like that. We're also going to do the Coach's Corner on Friday from the event later on that evening. So you make sure that you watch out for that, tune in for that as well. So it's kind of giving those updates about our common unity. And listen, if you want to know more about our common unity with Extreme FX Global Academy, make sure that you reach out. You can reach out to me here on Facebook, send me an inbox on Facebook Messenger. You can reach me by email at coachhadassah@gmail.com. I want to know if I have it down here. Yes, coachhadassah@gmail.com. Also, you can contact me on Linktree. All of my social medias is there. Even my email is there. That might be easier. Like everything, you could contact me on Linktree /coach.hadassah at gmail. I mean, not at gmail, at coach.hadassah. That's the Linktree. That's the Linktree link. Okay. So, but yes, do contact me about that because I'm sitting up here looking at something. Because I just, want to share with you the things that we have here. You want to know more about it. We are the first Black-owned crypto and Forex academy. And this is not, and you also have an opportunity to become an IBO or an independent business owner. Well, what is that? What does that mean? Basically, you can earn money by referring other people, referring other students into the program. And also they have the opportunity to earn income as well. So this is what I want to say. Like, think about it. The other day, and this leads into our Let's Talk About It Tuesday topic as well, because we're gonna be talking about of course, finances, debt, finances, debt, and then things that we really need to get into as far as handling our business. Power of attorney, um, family foundations and trusts, like all of these things. When we're talking about wealth building, we can't have that conversation without these specific things that I named. So, but I want to just share this really quick as far as, being able to earn income by referring students. So let's say, for instance, I went into One Main Financial. Okay. Went into One Main Financial. And of course they have a referral program, right? And what is that? All right. If you have some family and friends that you can share this, I guess it was like a little flyer, you share this flyer with them, you put your name on it. Okay. So if they come in and borrow money, okay, because that's what a loan is. You're going in there for a loan. They apply for a loan for a personal loan, or for a car, so a car loan, or whatever other financial needs. And you let them know that, like, say for instance, me, like, I referred you. You take that in and you say, oh, they'll ask you, were you referred by anyone? Or, oh yeah, I was referred by Hadassah, yada, yada, yada. And you give them that piece of paper. Or if you just give them my name, right, they'll look up the account and everything, and then credit me, or send me $25 or something for referring you to them to get a loan. Now, they're going to be making money off of you the whole time because of the interest. Right? You got the loan, and then you have the interest payments. But then they'll give me $25, and they'll give everybody else that I refer $25 for a loan, something that you're going to be paying out. Right? One time, $25. Okay. So that's almost the same thing with our referral program. However, it's switched. What do I mean by it's switched? So where you may get a one-time $25 for referring someone, that's getting a loan that, you with your job, or I don't know, maybe you have to take a second job or whatever in order to pay this loan back. I mean, you got the loan because you didn't have money. Because if you had the money to pay for whatever it is that you needed, you wouldn't have needed to get the loan. Right? Okay. So in this case, here it is. We have our academy, right? Our school of money. We teach you how to do what the banks do every day with your money, right? So you're learning a skill set in order to do what the banks do to make money. And then you can also make additional income, another stream of income within the same academy by referring people, right? And as you refer people, it's not a one-time $25 or whatever. There's a monthly income depending on the people that you refer to the program, that enrolls in the program to learn this skill set, not to get in debt, but to be able to get out of debt, right? Because if you're learning this skill set and you're making money in the Forex market, a $7.3 trillion market, that's one stream. And then in the other stream, it's, what you make from the compensation plan or the referral program, right? And that's another stream. You can get out of debt, not in it. And this is a monthly, not just one time $25. This is a monthly of $500 a month, which is paid weekly. So you're talking about $125 a week, or $1,000 a month, $250 a week, $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, 10,000. I mean, and we just keep going, right? So, I mean, you see what I'm saying here? So that's the thing, about it with our referral program. You have a referral, hey, $25 if you tell your friends to come over here and get a loan. And here I am, hey, this compensation plan, I refer my friends, and mine refer theirs, or, to your network, and you can continue to make money, a monthly income that can give you extra income, or it can replace the income that you have. Say, look, everybody don't hate their jobs. Okay, let's get that out the way. Everybody doesn't hate their jobs. Everybody's not looking to quit their jobs. I have many people on my team who love what they do, right? Especially when you're in the healing and helping professions. You don't get in the healing and helping professions not loving people and to help and heal people. You do not get in those professions to do that. Some people may get in the other professions because of, whatever, but in the healing and helping professions, that had to be in you. Okay. So again, everybody doesn't, oh, I hate my job or what. No, that's not everybody. But many people do, are thinking about retirement, or thinking about, some extra income that they can make because maybe they want to get into buying properties, or just, or live a lifestyle that they decide that they want to live, where they just want more. Like they may love what they have, but they just want more. And so they see, hey, this is an opportunity for me to do so. This is an opportunity for me to become my own bank, because that's pretty much what it is. You're becoming your own bank. Right? So, with that, it's just that additional. Like I said, it can replace the income. It can be an extra to the income that you already have, whatever that is for you. But, again, this is what we're doing over here in the Extreme FX Global Academy, learning this skill set. Several streams of income over here, even on the travel destination side. We won't even get into all of that, but I'm saving a lot of money on travel because I can book my own travel in my back office. Right? He's like, where Adasa going now? She gone. Hey, it just is what it is. So listen, you want to reach out to me about this, because especially by Friday, you'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. It's Talk About It Tuesday. What we're talking about on Tuesdays. Well, we've been dealing with this book for quite some time, right? Taking Care of Business, establishing a financial legacy for the African American family, African Americans. So for the African American family. And I'm not really going in any like particular order in this book. I'm just kind of skipping around, like wherever the spirit leads me, of things to speak on in regards to this book on Tuesdays. That's what we talk about. So, but I wanted to talk about something that is very important, especially in our community. It really is, because we are, for some reason, a very superstitious people, and we have to extirpate that. We really do. We do, because we end up in situations that we don't have to be there, all because we were superstitious about, certain things, and the things that matter, very, very important matters. So these are things, and this is at the end of the book. Look, I don't know what that is. And this little I don't know, background thing that's going on. I do this and, and it's like you can see through the book. But okay. But I'm going to read this. Location of important documents. Now, I don't know if maybe this was just something that I developed over time because, I had my children early. I don't know who this is. Okay. I was a teenage mother. Okay. So I and not only that, because I was a teenage mother, and I gave birth to twins first, so I never had one child. I started with two. I started with two. And then when my eldest daughter was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, maybe like about a year later, um, that just put me in a different place. I learned very quick about the importance of things that truly matter, right? And because of having to, with just different things with their disabilities, and going to different doctors and doctor's appointments, and these different services and things like that she had to have. There were always certain documents that I needed to have. There were certain paperwork, documents, just all of this kind of stuff. And because, I kind of learned that early on, I'm a person that's a stickler for documentations and them being in the proper places, to where it's not like I'm going over here to look for a birth certificate, or, ooh, I don't have one. Now I have to go order it. And, just all of that kind of stuff. I'm a stickler for them being in a specific safe place, to where when it's needed, I can just put my finger on it, grab it, it's all together and out the door, or, to wherever I need to go to handle said business, fax or whatever. I mean, like, I set up a home office because things need to be, faxed and all of that kind of stuff. So these are things that I had in place, and just not realizing, it was kind of commonplace to me early. And when I say early, I don't know. I'm thinking that, well, it appeared to me to be that most people didn't, well, I won't say most, I'll say many people didn't come around to that, the importance of that, until, I don't know, maybe in their 30s or 20s. I don't know, 20s, mid 20s or 30s, somewhere around there, like after college life. Well, that was my life as a teenager. So when I would see people in a certain age, like mid 20s, 30s, not doing that or have that together, I was kind of like, like, that's important. You're looking for check stubs. You're supposed to have all that together, filed in a certain place. How do you not know where this stuff is? That's important. You have to do certain things. They're going to ask for check stubs. You should have that filed in a file cabinet with in the thing, so you can put your hands on it. And so I didn't realize at that time, though, that wasn't commonplace for people, or that, I guess when they begin to do adulting for real, and Maybe I was early. I was early on the adulting. So it wasn't them, it was me. I'll put it that way. However, these are things that we need to teach our children before they leave our household. This shouldn't be something that they're learning in college. After they leave home, we send them off and it's like, oh, I wasn't equipped. These are things that they should be equipped with before they leave home, before they go to college, before they all of these things. Are they going to teach them this in high school? No, not happening. Has to happen at home. Or they're going to fumble around for a while and maybe trying to learn all of that kind of stuff when they, I don't know, possibly have children, families, or whatever. This should be part of the teen years, because really the teen years are the years of, like, how do I want to put this? Like adults in training, right? Or adulthood training. The age of accountability is 13. If you look in the Black Law Dictionary and you look up the word adult, it will say a female infant age 12 and a male infant age 14. That is what the Black's Law Dictionary consider as an adult in civil law. Civil means community. And then the age of the majority, or I'll say legal age. Legal age is female 18. Age of a majority, 21. Look it up in the Black's Law Dictionary. That is very, very important. It's very important because then it helps you to understand law, especially when, let's say our young ones, what we call them youth, right? Our youth get caught up in the system, and then they're being tried as an adult for certain things. And they just a baby. Not according to the law books. So we have to understand that. And this is why, train up a child in the way that they should go, so when they are old, they will not depart from it. You had to start at age 0, pretty much, because anything that they learn, pick up in their environment, all of that, what they're taught directly and indirectly, they are accountable for and responsible for, according to the law, at age 12 through 14. That's why we say that middle age of the middle age between 12 and 14 is 13. The age of accountability is 13. What they learn from birth up until that point, directly or indirectly, they will be held accountable and responsible for. And when we get that understanding, maybe we will decide to consciously parent and take it upon ourselves to teach our children the things that they really need to know. Because a lot of the information that they are getting is trivial. And we know that just talk to them. Talk to them. Have a conversation with them. Ask them. And they'll tell you. They're expressing it all over social media anyway. That they really want to know what they really need to know. And they know the things that are trivial. And that's the reason why a lot of them don't pay attention in school and drop out, because they know that a lot of the stuff that they're getting is like fillers. And they're like, this is not useful. I need what's useful. And they will pay attention to what's useful. And you don't have to beat them over the heads about it. So stuff like this is important. Location of important documents. So Here's the question. Now there's 3 columns here. You got the document, you have the location of the original document, and the location of a copy of said document. Now, here's the question. Do you have these documents that I'm going to name? Do you know the location of the original and the location of the copy? Are they in a safe place where you can go in that one location, put your hands on it without looking for it, and provide it for whatever, I don't know, whatever situation or whatever? Can you do that? Here they are. Birth certificates, marriage certificates if you're married, military discharge if you've been in the military, wills, do you have one? Trusts, do you have that? Debt instruments, most of us have debt. Power of attorney, do you have those? Death certificates, if anyone has passed in your immediate family, that you will have those. Citizenships papers, if you had needed to have those. Divorce decree, if you're divorced. Deeds, leases, business agreements, retirement papers, automobile titles, if you own them, insurance policies, income tax files, and other important documents. How many of these do you have? Where's the location of the original? Where's the location of the copies? And do you have them? Here's the thing. The location of the original and the location of the copies, they should really be in 2 separate places, but they should be, the copies should be together. The original should be together. But can you put your hands on them? Or do you have to tear up the place to look for them? Or do you have to order them every single time? Other documents would be like bank statements, your any like investment statements, check stubs, W-2s, 1099s, things for capital gain. Those documents, do you have those in a file in a certain location where you can put your hands on them? Like fireproof, flood-proof lockbox. If you don't have that, get one that you can pick up and carry out. A lock, fireproof, flood-proof. And also, when you put those documentations in the fireproof, flood-proof, make sure that they're in a, inside of that flood-proof, fireproof lockbox, that they're in a, like a plastic, folder. Make sure that they're in something like that, because you just never know. And here's the thing, what I meant earlier when I said our people are very superstitious, because it's almost like we feel like if we do those things that we're setting up for some type of crazy event to happen. No. No. It's called being prepared. It's called thinking and planning or whatever ahead of time, because you just don't know. Things happen. They just do, right? Natural disasters occur. Accidents happen. That's for sure. The thing is, we get caught with our pants down, being unprepared. So, speaking of that, there's some things that I want to talk about as far as wills, trust, and power of attorney. Now, as sure as we're born, we will transition and leave this earth plane. Okay? We're not getting out of here alive. Not in this body. I'll put it that way. So, with the work that we do, we work just about, I don't know, half about half of our lives we work. And with all of the work that we do, and we're gonna, and especially now, I could at least say for the baby boomer generation and the silent generation, which before the baby boomer generation. I mean, it was just, hey, they worked, they got paid, they went home. I mean, but now it's like with our generation on down, half of Gen X and the millennials and everything, it's this grind, work, grind, to get the bag and get the real estate and get everything, right? Get everything that your ancestors didn't get. It's like that's where we're in that time. We going to get all the money that was left on the table. It's pretty much what's happening. I mean, and I even feel that way. I feel like I watched my mother, work so hard with what she does. She's a great, awesome speaker, healer, coach, teacher, all of these things, right? I was just over at her house earlier today. He told me to come over and get my Mother's Day gift because I sent her away for Mother's Day. My cousins and I sent my mother and auntie away to get pampered. That's pretty much what that is. It was like, look, with everything that they've done for the past 5 decades in the Chicagoland area and abroad, right? I mean, they're known out here in these streets. Okay, as teachers and professors and ministers and servants and all of these things. It's like, now it is time for you all to, get your roses while you're alive, right? But with all of the work that they have done, we, like, yes, we can see that they've equaled out into some non-tangible things, but at the same time, the monetary benefits too should be there, right? And so, I mean, I've watched my mother, man, listen, when I tell you, this lady, what's that? It's this I forgot, it was this commercial long time ago, and they say, when E.F. Hutton speaks, everyone listens, something like that. I think that was E.F. Hutton or whatever. That's my mama. Like, when she speaks and with her speaking, there was some bags left on the table. And that's all I can say. Some bags was left on the table. And when I tell you, I'm collecting. Yes, I am. As sure as I don't know if you can see my eyeballs, but I am looking directly here and saying, I am collecting on everything that was left on the table for my mother and myself and future generations ahead. Yes. Period. And with that, I have been led in the way of being a student of not only money currency, but wealth and legacy. And a huge part of that, while everybody's collecting the bags, a huge part of that is wealth protection. Don't hear a lot of talk about that, but I've learned that over the years. We can get it, and we've seen this. We've seen where, like, say, Prince, for instance, absolutely love Prince, okay? And when he passed away, and it was like there wasn't a will, a trust, the estate. Like, what happened? Well, he was a great musician. You see what I'm saying? Very intelligent in that area of music. Like, that was his purpose. That's what he came here to do. His music was healing. He healed through music. However, we all have weaknesses. We all have our intelligences. And then there are some areas that we are not so intelligent on. And wealth is one of them, especially when certain knowledge has been hidden for specific reasons, right? But in the time that we're in right now, there's no excuse. We're streaming right now. I am at home in my basement with a virtual reality background behind me, because beside this, beautiful thing that you have here, it's a green screen. And behind this green screen is my hair stuff. Look, for when I did hair, I don't do it now, but I'm just so used to having it in my house to where, I think no matter where I live, I'm gonna always have a room with a salon chair and hair stuff, just in case. Right? But I'm saying that to say I'm here in my basement with all of this stuff streaming live on the internet, right? Streaming to Facebook, on both of those platforms, on my profile, on the business page, on YouTube, right? And then I can take that and share that on my Instagram, and many people all over can see it if they find me. Okay? So you see what I'm saying? We could go online, and I'm going to pull this up. You could go online and ask the question, how to do. How do you do this? How do you do that? And the information is there at our fingertips, whether we're on a computer or a laptop, or look at our fingertips on a cell phone, right? But it all depends on what's going on right here in our own minds. The internet search will go no further than what's already in your consciousness. We say mind, but then it was something that I saw yesterday that I thought was totally amazing when you really think about it. And it was like, yeah, it's that simple. But consciousness is everywhere. And our bodies, right? We think like consciousness is within. Consciousness is within and without. But we have a body in order to process the consciousness that's everywhere. And where our bodies are in particular environments, it's the consciousness of the environment that our bodies are picking up on to process the information to have the experience. I'm going to say that again. It's the consciousness of our environment that our body as a processor is picking up on to process the experience. So it's all about the environment and where we choose or have our bodies to be to experience it. And we process it through this meat package, whatever we want to call it, but it's our body, right? Okay. So it's not going to go any further. Our internet searches is not going to go any further than what we are experiencing or the consciousness of the environment that we're in to experience it, to process it through our bodies. So apparently, I mean, not apparently, but obviously, sometime in my life, I was around wealth. So I wanted to know about it. And I know that I've been in that environment. My mother was in the environment. I've been in the environment with her. Right? But then seeing some missing things as well. And then would that cause me to ask that question that I want to know? I want to know, just like Abraham. Abraham was in his environment. Then he observed some things in the environment and something that he observed that was kind of off with the environment. And then he started to question within himself. And he said, I want to know. I want to know who made the sun, the moon, the stars, the streams, the grass, the trees, the flowers, the bees, the birds, the this, the that. I want to know. And because he wanted to know, he started getting the answers. So same thing happened with me. I was in those environments, but I saw something that was off. And so I wanted to know. And because I questioned and wanted to know, I started finding the answers. And the biggest thing in it all was this one thing. It all came back to this one, or I'll say two things. Or no, how about, I would say three. I'm like 1, 2, 3, no, 3. Trust, will, and power. Trust, will, power. But now, if I put that in order, I will say power, will, and trust. Or maybe I should say power. No, I said it right. Power, will, and trust. Or maybe it's that power, trust, and will. I don't know. I'm gonna sit down and meditate on those last two about the order to put that in. But that's because everything has to have a pattern. This is what it goes to. So let's talk about this, the first tier, which is power or power of attorney. There's a situation that I was in the midst of and observed it. And it was very, very, very trying. Very trying. It wasn't my own experience, but I was there to witness it. And, you know, when a person is in a situation where they are not in their right mind and they're an adult, and especially if they're not married, and sometimes if they are married, but if they're not in their right mind and or maybe have some type of disability where they can't do the things that they would normally do for themselves, you know, handle their own finances, make decisions about their own health, and things like that. Well, if you don't have a power of attorney with someone who is trustworthy, that really cares about the individual, where, they're not out to take advantage of them in any type of way, but just make sure that that individual is okay, right? That their needs and everything is taken care of in the event of some type of where they're not capable of doing it for themselves. If there is no power of attorney in place, guess what? Here comes the state. And you do not want the state in, no, that is a recipe for disaster. So the question is there a trustworthy person with integrity and of good character that can be power of attorney over, in case of some type of event that happens like that, right? I remember when when my daughter sister, when she turned 18, and but before, was it a little bit before? It was somewhere around the time or whatever, and us together as the legal guardians, no, the parents, let's say the parents, but we were going in to do like the legal guardianship, and we all went together, and she was still in in high school, and so we all did the field. It was like a field trip where the parents of the disabled children went in order to do the legal guardianship because they were turning 18. And that's something that like we didn't think about, because it's like, okay, we're the parents and we're caregiving and all of that, and that it would just kind of continue to roll over just because they're still at home with us. But it's like, no, legally they're 18 of age, and after that you're it's like they're kind of out here by themselves, and so you have to do this before they turn 18 so that you can be legal guardian. You have to go through that court system in order to do that, and do all of that. But then also it just came into my mind to also do the power of attorney as well. Situation happened, she ended up in a hospital, and I'm trying to think of what was that. She just had gotten sick or some food poisoning or something that she ate. And so, we were there, and they asked, do you have a power of attorney? And we did it right there in the hospital. But here's the thing about it. These are things that you want to have in place beforehand, because if not, it can just be a problem, especially when you're already dealing with whatever the health issue is, or say, something happens where you need to do things to help them with their finances. Maybe they're not in the right mind frame to do anything with their finances. So you need to help them to pay their rent or their bills or something, because they can't do it. Right. And so, but if you don't have power of attorney in order to do that for them, or their health, they may need to go to the hospital or something. But without that power of attorney, they're just like out there. And if they become wards of the state, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So, do you have those things in place? If not, there's a very simple process that you want to look into, but you want to get that done, right? And it's all about having it tucked away somewhere or whatever, but using it in the event that you have to, not just pulling out whenever willy-nilly or whatever. I mean, it has to be where the person cannot do the normal things that they would do for themselves, and you see that, right? And then that's when that would have to, go in effect. Trust. Okay. And we're gonna, no, you know what? I'm gonna do trust last. Wills. Okay. You have of course they have last will and testament. But then you also have a living one, a living will. And of course you could do these things with an attorney. You can also, I mean, I'm not suggesting that you do it yourself, but I am saying, because I went to, what was that, Office Depot, Office Max the other day, and they had the whole section over there. It came with it was like $50. It came with the paper and the DVD, the CD-ROM or DVD or whatever. And I guess it like walks you through the process of the papers, and then there's a certain verbiage and all of that that's in there that normally, of course, you would do with an attorney. But if you don't have that attorney cost or whatever, then it's just that whole process that you can do of walking through that. But do you have those things in place in the event of your death, right? Or like I said, a living will. You don't necessarily have to be dead, but the living will, where it's appointing things to certain people or family members or whatever. And what is a will? But that's exactly what that is. A will. What do you will? What do you will to happen with this or that? Not wish, but will, right? We talk about that on Wealthy Wednesdays. Will is a meaning of well. WEALL. Will is in the meaning of well. So of course you want to have a living one, right? A living will. Do you have that? And it doesn't matter if you're like married with a family or you single. Single people really need to have these things in place. You really do, right? The power of, look, especially the power of attorney. The power of attorneys for health, finances, real estate. You need to have a power of attorney in place, because if anything were to happen to you, and say you're in a hospital or whatever, and some decisions need to be made about your health. You could be in a coma, but you have no spouse, so you have no husband or no wife, but you're of legal age, and your family can't do anything. Okay, they say, okay, next of kin, we can let you know what's going on with their health status or whatever, but they can't really make too many decisions for anything. Or you have to start trying to take care of those power of attorney things while you're in the midst of dealing with the health issue at hand. So you're all emotional and when I say emotional, because there's an emotional scale. Love is emotion. It is. Joy is an emotion, all of that. But I'm talking about the lower frequency emotions where you're, in grief or despair. You don't want to be in those lower frequency emotions and having to reason, which is an emotion too. It's like you're not even up there. You're down here in grief and everything. So then you can't think straight. You don't want to have to try to be doing all of those things while you're in that state with something that's going on with a loved one, right? So you want to have those things in place. And I say, especially for single people, you really need that power of attorney, will, like all of this, even still, especially if you're single and grinding to get the bag. Come on now. It's more to it than just the money. Much, much more. Trust. Now I'm going to close out with this because this, we're about done. But so, I have my little Bible app, Bible Gateway. And so I like it because I can type in a word or something. And because sometimes it's like, okay, I know I read it and I know what it meant, but to be calling out, oh, it's First Timothy chapter 6 verse 8. I'm not that person. Right? I'm not. It's a now. I know Romans 1:19 and 20. Right? I know the specific ones, but like I'm not a bibliomaniac. Put it that way. So, but I put in the word trust, and in the Canaanized Bible, or I will say in the King James version of the Canaanized Bible, there were 188 entries for the word trust. And so as I was looking through, this resonated with me. So it's Psalms 4, and it's just 8 verses. Hear me when I call, O Elohim of my righteousness. You have enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. O you sons of men, how long will you turn my glory into shame? How long will you love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. Let me stop right there. First of all, it says, "O you sons of men." So, who is he speaking to? Speaking to sons, those are males, of men, those are males too. So he's speaking to men. How long will you turn my glory into shame? Like how long you gonna do this? How long are you gonna turn my glory, my kingdom, my riches, my wealth into shame? That shame is the lowest frequency emotion on the emotional scale. How long will you love vanity? Vanity, that word means empty. How long will you love emptiness? Not fulfilled at all. Fulfilled means full. It's 2 words, full and fill. Fulfill. I mean, you got to be really full to be fulfilled, right? How long will you love emptiness? I mean, how long will you love emptiness? That's vanity, is emptiness. And seek after leasing. Wait a minute. Leasing. That means you don't own it. You forever paying for it. Leasing, like you lease a car or you forever paying. When you gonna own? All right. But know that Yahweh has set apart him that is godly for himself. Set apart. We just talked about consciousness in the environment. And if the environment is unhealthy, right? Yahweh sets apart the righteous. Yahweh will take you right out. Let me get you out of here. I'm set you might have to be in isolation for a minute, right? Yahweh will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in Yahweh. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in Yahweh. We're talking about a trust. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the trust, and then we're going to end. So we're going to go a little bit over the little power minutes, right? There be many that say, who will show us any good? Yahweh, lift you up the light of your countenance upon us. You have put gladness in my heart more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. I will lay I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for you, Yahweh, only make me dwell in safety. It's so much to this. I have to do these 8 verses another time because it's so many that, okay, trust, right? Put our trust, put your trust, your trust in Yahweh. So let's see, what wealthy people, when we talk about wealth, now, there are a lot of people that are after riches, right? What does that mean? That means you're abundant in materials. You could be abundant in money. You can have a whole lot of it, right? You could be abundant in clothing. You can be abundant in products. Like I'm abundant in books. I have books every freaking where. Right? You can be abundant or rich in many things, but we're talking about wealth. Wealth is well-being, welfare, and wholeness. And that has to do with the community. The community has to be whole. The community has to be well. The community has to have the welfare or the well-being in the entire community of the environment that you're in. So you have to be aware of the environment that you're in. And if you see that, wait, this is an unhealthy or sick environment, and if you attempt to change it, maybe you can, maybe you cannot. Maybe it's so toxic that you have to remove yourself from that environment. Be ye separate or separated, like in isolation for a minute to get out of it. But you don't stay in isolation for long. It's just a matter of like fasting or detoxing for a minute from that environment to be put into a new environment, because you don't want to come out of a toxic environment and go into the new one, because now you're bringing all the icky toxins and whatever into that new environment that's whole and healthy. No, we're not doing that, right? So you come out of that environment, get into a isolated environment where you can detox, fast, right? Get the toxins and everything out. And I'm not talking about just in like the body toxins, but in the mind and the heart and the soul, like all of that, get it out. And then get into a newer environment, right? A healthier environment, or just a healthy environment. Of course, it was healthier than the environment that you was in, but just a healthy environment. And that environment is because it's about the well-being and everybody making sure that everybody is okay, right? It's not about, you taking from this one and this one taking from, that's not a healthy environment. That's not at all. Because the way that the universe works, there's a world that we live in, and then there's the universe. The universe operates in cooperation, where the world operates in competition. We have sports and all of that, like, yeah, right? However, the universe works in cooperation. Humanity works in cooperation, where a world that's falling away operates in competition. But you're moving over into a healthy environment where it's about the well-being of the whole. And if one is suffering, that whole comes in to help that one to be better, as opposed to in another environment that is not as healthy, won't even see it, recognize it, take cognizance of it, or anything. Matter of fact, probably taken away from it. And that's the reason why it's unhealthy, right? So in that environment, this wealth, I'll tell you how wealthy people, the wealth, keep their wealth. Trust. Do you have a trust? Do you have one set up? Do you even think about it? When we're thinking about the money and the rich and the grind, are we thinking about trust? Let me tell you what trust does. And I now I got some information, but it's, something else. But it's something I pulled up online though. But because my trust information is is up there anyway. But we're just gonna do and I'm gonna share this really quick. Hold on a sec. We're gonna share. Okay, so let me see. Do I want to do this? Yep, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, you see this? It's a trust funds 101. If you've heard of trust funds but don't know what they are or how they work, you're not alone. Many people know just one key fact about trust funds. They're set up by the wealthy as a way to protect passing on significant sums of money to family, friends, or entities, charities, for example, after they pass away. However, only part of the conventional wisdom is true. Trust funds are designed to allow a person's money to continue to be used in specific ways after they pass away and to avoid their estate going through probate court, a time consuming and expensive legal process. But trusts aren't only useful for ultra high net worth individuals. The middle class can use trust funds as well, where setting up one isn't out of financial reach. Key takeaways. Trust funds are designed to allow a person's money to continue to be useful well after they pass away. You can place cash, stock, real estate, or other valuable assets in your trust. A traditional irrevocable trust will likely cost a minimum of a few $1,000s and could cost much more. The mechanics of trust funds. To understand how a trust fund operates, let's look at an example. You've worked hard all your life and have built up a comfortable savings cushion. You know that sometime in the future you're going to pass away, and you want your hard-earned savings to go to people you love or the charities or causes that you believe in. Now, what about loved ones who are not as financially savvy as you? You could be concerned about leaving them a lump sum gift because they might use it irresponsibly. Furthermore, you may even like to see your money carry over for generations to come. We talk about generational wealth, right? Generational wealth and da 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 and blah 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 blah. Do you have a trust? I'll tell you, it doesn't cost a lot of money, to be honest with you. It does not. Listen, when I listen, look, some people done bought watches that cost way more than it costs to set up a trust for their family. Like, for real. Clothes, shoes, sweaters, watches, purses. Look, weave. What you call that? Because listen, this is something that I said that I would probably do if I went back to doing hair again. I would definitely do I would be be certified to do sister locks. I would definitely do that. One client a day. Look, maybe one client work 3 days a week and I would be done. But look, the cost of sister locks, I think it's about $1,500. For the cost of sister locks, you could set up a trust fund. You can set up a trust. It's not a lot of money, but it will save you and your family for generations to come. It's just all in what we value. So furthermore, oh, and by the way, happy new moon in Taurus. It just so happens that we're talking about these things on this, going into this new moon. So this is great seeds to be planting to anyone that is listening to the sound of my voice. Because this what this new moon is about too for this month. The new moon in Taurus is in the ninth house of belief systems and experiences. And it's about the groundwork. It's about value. It's about the soil, resources. And then also, because this new moon at the time, 1:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2:59 p.m. Eastern, 12:59 Pacific, the rising is in Virgo. That has to do with environments, health, work environment, service work, health, daily routine, analysis, editing, things like that, organization. I started off talking about that. Like, where is your, like where is your birth certificate? Do you have it in a place that you can find it? That's organization. It just so happened that I talked about that. I didn't even realize how fitting it was to this new moon. But yeah, here it is. More value to you, right? So listen, to keep going. So furthermore, you might even like to see your money carry over for generations to come. This is where we get in the bag and we talking about generational wealth. If you don't have a trust set up, I don't know what you're doing. If this is how you feel, then you should set up a living, irrevocable trust fund. This type of trust can be set up to begin dispersing funds when certain conditions are met. There is no stipulation that you cannot be alive when that happens. You can place cash, stock, real estate, or other valuable assets in your trust. You meet with an attorney and decide on the beneficiaries and set up stipulations. Maybe you say that the beneficiaries receive a monthly payment, can only use the funds for education expenses, expenses due to an injury or disability, or the purchase of a home. It's your money, so you get to decide. Eligibility for need-based financial aid. Although the trust is irrevocable, the money is not the property of the person receiving it. Because of this, a child applying for financial aid would not have to claim these funds as assets. I'm going to read that again, and I'm going to just let it hit you where it needs to. Because of this, a child applying for financial aid would not have to claim these funds as assets. As a result, there will be no impact on eligibility for need-based financial aid. For those of you who have special needs children, look into special needs trust and get one. The truster can also establish trust for future generations of children, making the trust a lasting legacy for an indefinite number of generations. I'm going to stop right there. You can go on investopedia.com or just put in the search, put in the search what you call it? Let me see. Stop screen. Yeah. Put in the search how to set up a trust, or something like that. I think that's what I did. I just Googled how to set up a trust fund. But this one on and because I saw the other ones, but this one was very clear cut, just for people to understand. If you don't speak legalese, then you want it to just be simple, plain, for you to understand it, and then do your due diligence. Because if this is what, especially to my extreme family, right? If this is what we're really doing this for, it don't make sense to have all the bags and you don't have a place to really put the bags. If we're going to do generational wealth and leave a legacy, the trust is a must. I sound like Jesse Jackson. The trust is a must, but it is. Special needs trust. The benefits of a special needs trust is, man, when I sat down with a trust attorney, this was some years ago. I sat down with a trust attorney and I was like, this is amazing. But again, it all started with me observing the environment that I was in with a bunch of rich people and wealthy too, but it was some information that was not being shared. And I don't know, it could have been one or two reasons. It could have been that, shoot, you might have some wealthy people that figured, hey, this is common knowledge. Everybody knows to have this or do this. So why share the information that you think everybody has? And then you had the rich people that didn't have that information. They just had money. And so that wasn't the conversation that they were sitting down talking about. They was talking about creating more money, how we could circulate more money, or get into this project, or do this or do that. But stuff like this was not the topic of conversation. And like I said, who's sitting down at a business or a networking event or whatever, like, yeah, do you have a will and trust and power of attorney? So that's why I'm putting it on the table now. Do you have a will, trust, and power of attorney? If not, start looking into those things. It doesn't cost a lot of money at all. I've paid for vacations that was more than what it costs to do a will, trust, and power of attorney. Like, for real. But we have to have our financial house in order. We do. So if we're going to get the bags, and if we're going to get the money that was left on the table from, our foremothers and forefathers and the generations before us, to leave an inheritance and legacy for the generation to come, those are the three things that we must have. So get it done. All right, so that is my time on the Power Minutes that we've been in here for almost 120 minutes. Tune in tomorrow to the Coach's Corner, because we're going to have a special guest, Rodney Burris, speaker, coach. He's just an all-around phenomenal human being. And so we're just very honored to have him on the Coach's Corner on our show. All right. So you all take care. What's today? Today is Tuesday, right? Yes, today is Tuesday. It is. I was trying to think, like, if there's something else going on, because there's always something going on. Like, is there something else going on that I need you guys to tune into or not, or whatever? But no. But again, make sure, because as I said this earlier, within like the first 15 minutes of the show, make sure you reach out Come find out what it is that we're doing over here in our common unity with learning this skill set. Extreme FX Global Academy, where Bitcoin and Forex collide, because this Forex market is where the money resides. $7.3 trillion market with about $7 billion people on the earth. That is $1,000 per day for each individual. There is no way that anybody, I'm talking about even babies go into that number of about 7 billion people on the earth. Okay. And that's it. That's $1,000 a day for everybody. So get what's yours. All right. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Peace.